the last 2 months, we have been on quite a journey, dealing with manifesting, dealing with looking at our thoughts, really examining how we can go through forward motion. And the series, the title series and the overview of January and February was given to me back in November. I said, okay, great, God, you're really giving it to me early here. Well, let me write all this down and let me try to remember what you want to do. And of course, then I'm always just so startled and so in awe of what does come. You know, when it comes time to give the messages, the way it comes from Spirit, the way everything moves to build together. So we have been a busy little group of people, haven't we?
Yes.
Working, thinking, creating, really focusing on what we want, what we need to release. So, I had no idea how much I would have to change in order to clear behavior patterns that no longer served me. Have you ever thought about that? We want, but behavior patterns that no longer serve us cannot go to the new territory. So the clearing and the changing that occurs for me can create a tremendous amount of stress. And so I tend to get stressed. And even though after the stress reaches the crescendo and I have a clearing, I go, oh, but thank you, God, now I'm done, I can move on, I see. Then there's another stress ball that comes right upon its heels, and I'm working on another issue. Because I've put some very large and magnificent things out in the universe to manifest, which means things must change. So this process can be arduous. It can be difficult. And I can honestly tell you, there have been times, 2 times in my life that I can actually attest to with a firm certainty, where I was given a mission from God, and I did it. It took probably 2-3 years on one project. The other project was well over a year of intense focus. And I birthed those projects, yes I did, and they are done. But the next step, of course, is integrating them and lifting them up and getting them breath and air in the universe. It's like giving birth to a child and going, okay, now what? And I both times said to God, I can't take it. Take it from me. Just take it from me. And both times it was taken from me. I gave birth to 2 beautiful creations and put them up for adoption. Nobody came to adopt them, though. And as the years rolled by and I had a little bit more energy, I said, okay, God, give it back to me now. Guess what? It wasn't given back to me. I shut it. Because I could not take the next step to heal that which was within me so that I could move into that greater space. Now, everything happens for a reason. Everything works together for good for those that love God. There's no doubt about that. And that was part of my learning experience. Because when the time came for the big, huge, gigantic thing to happen, I had to be prepared not to let go. I had to be prepared to hold on no matter what stress is coming at me. Is everybody understanding? How's this for a nice, sweet intro? Feeling light, Mary?
Yeah.
So, what I want to talk to us about today is, obviously from Spirit, how to rest without stopping. How do we rest without stopping, without saying, no more, I can't do no more? Okay? So, you all are hearing me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When we build something, we are actually building a level of consciousness. This is not for naught. Everything that we do builds our level of consciousness. So everything helps. All of the affirmations that are in place, all of the little actions that you've taken, everything that you've done to move towards something is there. It's not lost. It's there. We think sometimes that if we pull back and take a rest, it's going to disappear. But it's not. If we've been working it, it's still there. Those little bricks are still out there. They're still in place. But when we start focusing on the issues and the challenges, sometimes the focus goes away from the dream and it becomes a focus on the challenge of the moment. All right. Be with me, anybody? All right, has anyone ever needed a new roof?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I needed a new roof one time. And so Patrick and I said, let's get a new roof. Yay, it's a new roof. Okay, so we did our due diligence. We picked the perfect roof. We had the financing ready. We're ready. New roof. Okay, they schedule it. And then they said to me, now, you must go through your house and take everything off the wall in every room. You must take everything that could potentially fall and crash down in every room. And I'm going, what? Just put a roof on. And they're saying, oh no. Has anybody ever done this? It takes days to remove all the breakables, center them in the room, so the vibration of their hammering doesn't destroy. While you were doing this, my focus went to, I don't think I need a new roof. And that's the truth. I think that roof can last us another 5-10 years. Because the labor to get to that new roof is a lot in my home. And maybe you say, well, I don't have anything on the wall. Good. But you've got a roof scenario somewhere in your world where we're starting to do something, and as we do it, our focus goes from the end goal to the issue. The end goal to the issue. Can you feel yourself doing that? End goal to issue. Okay. The focus shifts from the dream to the labor, and what you focus on expands. Absolutely. So how can we rest while focusing on our dream? How can we take the rest we need and not let the focus go to the challenges or to a sense of quitting? Do you rest or do you exhaust yourself and put your dream down? If I ask you to put your hands up on the last one, do you exhaust yourself and then put the dream hand? Okay, we see hands flying up already. Yes, yes, yes. That's typically what we do in our world because that's how we're taught. Rush, 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 work, work, work. When I met Patrick Olo so many years ago, I was very annoyed with him because he would always say to me, you work too much, stop, stop, stop. And I said, you don't understand, I'm building something. And he said, Cindy, you must see the action in inaction. And my energy went, pop. I got things to do. You see? How do we get in our mindset permission to sit and to rest? Well, I wanted to share with you a story in the Aquarian. This is chapter 123. This is toward the end of Jesus' journey. And he is getting ready for the third year. The Aquarian chronicles when he begins his work in Israel, 3 years that he worked with the disciples. The third year begins the year where he will actually culminate with the crucifixion and ascension. He's getting ready for the third year. His disciples are all 2 by 2, talking it up, reaching out to the world, right? He goes, I'm out of here. I need to go to Tyre on the coast. I need to see the ocean. I need to visit some friends. I need to take a break. I need to take a break. And so he says, Rachel, I'm coming. Don't tell anybody. What does Rachel do? Tells everybody. So he's trying to get a break. It happens. So he's trying to get a break because he finally has a minute to break. And Rachel tells everybody, and of course everything ensues. He calms down and then he begins to travel. It says that he goes to a mountain. I'll just read it to you. He goes to Sidon and waits. Then he journeyed on to the Lebanon hills and the vales and the groves. He walked in silent thought. His earthly mission was fast drawing to a close, and he sought for strength. And what he sought for, he found. At Mount Hermon, Jesus wanted to kneel beside the mountain famed in Hebrew song. He stood upon the peaks, and he lifted his eyes, and he talked to God. And the masters of the olden times revealed themselves, and long they talked about the kingdom of the Christ, and the mighty works that had been done, and about the coming conquest of the cross, and about the victory over death. And then he journeyed on, and he went to visit Susanna, and he played. She was a friend of his. He rested. And then another friend of his was piloting Herod's ship, gave him a ride across the sea on a royal vessel to take him back home to begin his work again. but he took the time away to go and speak. What if he had not? What if he had continued healing? How many more healings are there? How many more people need to know what I have to say? How much more is there for me to do? What if he had said, okay, Rachel, I give up. Bring them on. I'm just going to continue working. Obviously, it's not going to give me a break. I'm not getting a break out of this. And he just continued and continued and continued. Would he have heard the words of the Masters? No. Would he have gotten that extra strength and understanding from being on the mountain that his soul treasured? His soul treasured that location. Let me go there and breathe. Let me be where I can feel. He would have missed all of that. And would he have been prepared and ready for the next leg of his journey, which was a year long? It was a year long. But would he have had that energy to do what he needed to do? Think about it for a minute and think about your life. And how much do we let Rachel guide us to more work? You know? When someone mentions, oh, you've got more to do. Oh, did you think you were on a break? Oh, no. Sometimes it's our spouse that tells us. Sometimes it's friends and family. Oh, no. It's not break time yet. We have more to do. Okay? But his soul, his heart was calling him to be revived. To be revived. And you all know when you get that. You know when you're getting called to be revived. And you know what your answer typically is. God, you know I've got work to do. Talk to me later. Okay. We're looking at the life and teachings of the Masters of the Far East Book 2 in the seminary class. And I love that I'm being reminded of what I already know. I love this. You know as well as I know, the universe loves us. The universe is supporting us. It does not thwart us. All those little things I go through that create stress, that's not the universe going, ooh, let's make Cindy feel challenged. It's me healing something within me that I need to release. The universe loves me. The universe wants to support me, yet the universe responds to my thoughts. That's the problem. I want all the big dream. I want this big dream. I want this big dream. The universe is going, get it. Go on, guys. Yes, here we come. And then my thoughts go, oh no, I have a problem. And my face goes down into the issue. And I'm looking at this. No, I got bigger fish to fry, universe. I have an issue. And we put at bay all the good that we've already called forth. And you know this, preaching to the choir here. But do you recognize when you do it? The universe seeks to supply all of our needs. The universe loves us with just, what can we say? We can't even say. All right. The challenges and the circumstances that are involved in our growth, we need to be able to look at them as, okay, I have the strength to do this. The universe is helping me. I'm going to do it. And when I need to rest, then I rest. I'm making it really simple. Is it really simple? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So I had this idea. I know nothing about horses, but I know some of you are horse people out here. Let's imagine that Cheryl has a horse that she's going to race. Not do her dressage, but she's going to race that puppy. And let's imagine she has a big race tomorrow. Do you think that she's going to take that horse out today and run it as fast as it can for as long as it can? Would you do that? She says no. She says no. And would you make sure that horse has food? And would you make sure that horse has comfort and loved and is pampered and is spoiled? Yes. Because you want that horse to run a good race tomorrow. When we take a moment to remember the energy of who is going to perform, we take the focus back to the dreamer. We are the horse performing. We are asking of ourselves such a great thing to do. Yet do we feed? Do we water? Do we rest? Do we train? Are we taking care of the dreamer who's actually going to be calling forth the dream, bringing the dream in? Do you hear? Take care of the dreamer. You are the manifester. You are the co-creator. You are going to give birth to a beautiful experience. Do you really want to give it up for adoption? Because you have exhausted yourself. Or do you really want to bring in that experience? Okay? You like my horse story? All right. The universe supports us. The universe supports us. The universe is an advocate for everything that we are. The universe is never an adversary. You know, advocate supports and uplifts. Adversary seeks to make you small and little. Take your power and light away. Adversary. I want to stop you. I don't like what you're doing. Adversary. The universe is never the adversary. How many adversaries do you allow in your world? Think about it. And why? So they'll help us learn? So they'll make us strong? Imagine the adversarial energy in your world and think about your horse. That is akin to you going in and poking your horse. Giving your horse a hard time. Just being unkind to your horse. Just because you can't. Uncomfortable? Yes. Yet we allow the world to poke us. And why? If the universe is my advocate, why do I even need anyone poking me? Why can I not just say yes and go forward? Most of us are afraid to rest because we've created an adversary so large in our world that we feel if we take a rest, we're in trouble. And we use the idea of adversary to keep us motivated. That's really the only reason we use it for, right? If I feel like I've got trouble at the door, I'm going to keep working. When we change our mindset to the advocate, when we change our mindset, if the universe is supporting me, then therefore everyone in my world is supporting me, even my spouse. More people than Patty should have laughed on that one.
Mine's more adversarial than most.
Because we look to those closest to us to play those roles for us. But if I'm going to accept the advocacy of the universe, then I can look in my material world and say, yes, I am truly being supported, because that is what I choose to enter into my world. And anything else, it doesn't have to be there. Anyone else doesn't have to play with me, because I want to be supported. Can you breathe? Okay. All right. When we realize that everything that we've been focusing on to manifest is being built in the inner, when we realize that, we can easily take a break and know it will be there when we return. Break, return. Take a rest, return. About 10 years ago, Patrick and I went to Brazil. We were driving through the countryside, and through the countryside, you would see this plot of land and large concrete cylinder blocks forming walls, making walls, no ceiling, and maybe some rooms everywhere. Driving along, oh, there's another one over there. Like, what's going on? It's totally alien to our visual. Just concrete walls, kind of making a structure, kind of not. Scattered throughout the landscape. So we ask, why, what is this? Did somebody abandon something? What's going on? And this is what was happening in that day and time about 10 years ago. It may not be the same today. But in the country at the time, you could finance everything except a house. You could not finance your house. Your home had to be paid for in cash. So as people got cash, they would build a wall. And they would leave it on their land until they had enough money to build another wall. And the driver of the taxi cab said, you are looking at people's savings accounts. Wow. This is where their money is. They don't put it in the bank, they put it in their house. And sooner or later, they will have all their walls and they'll have a roof, and it will be functioning, and they'll be able to move in. But in that country, you had to have paid for your house. Totally opposite of us, right? We would never pay for our house. But they finance their shoes. They finance their clothing. They finance everything but their home. And I was reminded of that this morning when I was just meditating and talking to Spirit. Our dreams look like that. We have in our landscape scattered buildings of things that we've been working on. The affirmations, the things we've been working on that we didn't give up on yet, they're still there waiting. Nothing is lost. It's waiting to be constructed. It's waiting to be built. Because we have invested debt-free our own energy. We did not borrow that energy. It is our energy. We placed it there. We want it to become, and it will sit there until we are ready to put another wall on, another aspect of it. Does that make sense? If we can get that vision in our mind, that we are in fact building already what we want, and then couple it with the idea the universe wants nothing but what I want. Nothing for me but what I want. How powerful are we? And how much do we have to drive ourselves? Do you think we should take care of our dream?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think I'd like to go ahead and take us into a meditation to have that experience. Y'all ready? Put your feet on the floor. And breathe. And I know you've been listening very carefully, and I know you understand the words. I want you to let them go for just a moment. Imagine a beautiful column of light that comes over you, and let it be whatever color it needs to be. Feel that you are safe. God's love is in this beautiful column. And as you breathe it in, you're more and more relaxed, breathing in the light. Letting yourself feel the chair. Letting yourself center. And you're safe. You may feel Jesus Christ by your side. You may feel a guardian angel. Just be aware that you're held in the heart of God. And I want you to begin to visualize a beautiful blue ribbon in front of you, just like dangling from midair, twirling and spinning a blue, beautiful ribbon. And as you reach out, I want you to touch the ribbon and realize you are now being moved. The ribbon is moving you. It is effortless. And you can feel it. Hold on to the ribbon. And you are being transported. Transported to a space that is very safe. A space that reflects your own heart freedoms. Just be aware as you let your feet land and you are aware of this space. The vibration is of your heart. It's of your choices. And you feel clear and open. Breathe. And we're going to call forth all of the things that you are working on creating. And as you do, see a bubble of light come for each creation. A big bubble of light come before you. And you can see the details in the bubble of light of what you're creating with this. And perhaps another bubble. Just to let them all come forward. However many, it doesn't matter. Bubbles of light that contain various things that you are currently attempting to create. Some of you may have one or two. Some may have a mass. Become aware of the energy within each bubble. Some of these you recognize instantly. You know exactly what you're creating. Some of them may be off and somewhat forgotten, but yet they're there. As you look at the energy, be aware you have been very busy. Very busy. And now, one bubble at a time, I want you to look at one bubble of light and say, yes, I do still want that. Take a breath and send it a breath of yes. And then each bubble that needs to come forward, look at it, yes, I want that, and send it back. Towards each bubble of light, we're bringing it in, we're acknowledging, yes, I want it, we're sending it. And as we send it, we're sending it to the universe. Universe, we're sending these bubbles of light to you. All that have come forward for you now, send them back. And if any of you have some yet to send, gather them all together. Big yes, I still want these things. Deep breath. Send them all to the universe. I want them all. Father, Mother God, I want them all. And sense that the energy in front of you is now clear. And sit right where you are in this space. And feel yourself as the dreamer. I am the dreamer. Feel your love for self. And the minute you love self, feel the beautiful love of Father, Mother, God pouring into you. Of course you are loved. Of course you are. You are my child. And let that love of God pour through your crown, top of your head, through your body. And just receive. I am the love of God. And I love me. I am the dreamer. I am the creator. And whatever you need to do in your vision in this moment, if you need to lean back, if you need to lay down and look at the sky, if you need to stand up and dance, feel your energy. I am good. And God, we ask now to be filled with all the strength, guidance, peace, and love that will help us sustain awareness of who we are. Many words for one idea. I am God's child. Feel your energy getting strong. And hear this concept. Heaven is on earth because I am on earth. Feel it in your heart. Heaven is on earth because I am on earth. And it is my joy to create. Feel the beautiful universe flooding around you. Do not draw any bubble back. It will come to you when you need it. Feel yourself simply honoring you. God, we love you and we thank you. Feel that peace, and we're going to bring that peace back. As you open your energy, you see the blue ribbon once again in front of you. And I want you just to grab the ribbon again. And you'll feel the movement. And that beautiful ribbon is going to bring you back into the column of light that you were in your chair. It's going to gently bring you back. And when you feel the chair beneath you, become aware of your own heart and your energy field. I am light. energy moving into the room. Feel that gratitude for God. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Did anyone have lots of bubbles? Did it feel okay to let them go? To send them on, put them in God's hands? For today, if we could just take even this afternoon to be, just love ourselves, do the dance of joy, not worry, not agenda ourselves, not do anything that is outside of just celebrating life as our own heart. We could do that just for today. You would be amazed how revived you might feel for tomorrow. And then as you walk the week, if you get the call in your heart to go to the mountaintop, to take a break, to go and rest, remember this minute. The universe is loving me. The universe is going to take care of everything. I have a little building out in the property I own in consciousness. It's going to be fine. It's my turn to be fed. Rest, don't stop. Don't move to exhaustion where you're screaming no more. Rest, don't stop. Say, yay, God.
Yay, God.